morning, friends, and welcome to our morning devotional this morning on this Wednesday, August 11th. Today is back to school day. That's right. If you happen to be a parent or a student or a teacher, you really know about that one. If not, you may have been out driving this morning and noticed those long lines of cars around your nearby schools there, and how crazy that was. Or this past weekend, you may have noticed the mad dash of families to Target and to Walmart getting all these school supplies that they needed last minute, or the checking and double checking of school schedules and bell times and registrations and all those things. And very soon, this next week is the best part, the onslaught of paperwork. That's right, when the schools send home volumes of papers for parents and students to read and to sign and to send back, literally paperwork that would rival the IRS. So this morning I was driving one of my daughters to school on her way there, and she thought for a moment and looked at me and says, "Dad, I know today is back to school, but it doesn't feel like it's back to school." And I thought about that for a moment. I said, you're right. This feels different this year than in previous years there. And as I was reflecting on that thought later, there's that desire, I think, for all of us to get back to the routines of our lives, right? Whether it's back to school, whether it's back to work, back to gatherings with friends and family, back to our churches to gather and worship, grow, and serve together. That, we desire and have that strong connection to want to get back to those normal routines in our life, and yet the reality that things are different. Right now we're facing some of the highest outbreaks of COVID in Florida. And even for those of us who have gone through the vaccinated, gotten our vaccines, and has provided a level of safety there that we're thankful for, there's still risks. There's still risks present that keep us from fully getting back to normal in our lives. And so as I was reflecting on that, reflecting on scriptures, I went to Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. And it says this. It says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Here's Joshua. He was called to this moment in his life to something different, something he wasn't expecting, something he wasn't at that point, I think, maybe even prepared for. I mean, Joshua was the assistant to Moses for quite a while, and after Moses' death, Joshua is called by God to step out of his normal routines that he knew and that he was comfortable in, and to step into a different place in Joshua's life, that to serve and to lead God's people. And God reminds Joshua in that moment to say, look, you are not to rely on your own strength in all this. That will not get you to where you need to go. Rely on God in this new and different time in your life. And so my prayer this morning is first for our teachers, for our students, for our parents, but also for you and for me, is that we are still facing times of change in our lives there. In our communities, we're facing change. In our churches, we're facing changes, and in our own lives there. And that we might remember, just like Joshua did in this moment, to be strong and courageous, not relying on our own strength in these moments, but building on the strength of the one who calls us out of our routines and calls us into such a time as this, to step forward and to serve God. So until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of God's hand.